It looks like Carmella has just called out WWE, claiming that she was quote-unquote ghosted by the company as her contract expired. She has now, in a new interview, spoken out about what she believes happened, why she is no longer with the company, and we're going to talk about it. We're going to take a look at it. We're also going to discuss whether or not the situation with Corey Graves may have played a part into this. All that much more coming up right here in this video. So be sure to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. All right, so just a quick recap of kind of where we are. Carmella, just a couple of days ago, as we covered here on youtube.com/Real Take Wrestling, discussed on X and on Instagram that she was going to tell her side of the story, that she was going to essentially break her silence on why she believes that she is no longer with WWE as her contract expired. And we've been waiting for this podcast interview to drop. We've been waiting for this update to happen, and now it's here. And in this clip that we're going to play in just a second, Carmella did indeed talk about why she believes she's no longer with the company. And it may surprise you. Let's take a look at what she said.
What's next for Leah? For so long, it's like, oh, Carmella. And it's like, no, I can now fully be Leah and do what I want to do. And I don't know what that is.
So you have been out of WWE for almost 2 years.
Yes.
But not by choice.
No.
So let's talk about it.
That's the whole point, to get people talking and to be bold in your face. Let's talk about it. Let's have the conversations that, women aren't having. Is it because I'm a woman? Is it because I had a baby? And it just feels like a shitty way to end a 12-year career with the company. That this is how it ended.
But also to be treated like a human being and a woman and someone who's dedicated 12 years of your life to this company.
He still has a job. We had a kid and he has a job, but I don't. I guess fast forward until a few weeks ago, and then I got a call saying that my contract was up in 10 days.
Everyone just ghosted.
Completely ghosted.
Everybody's getting sued if it was me.
What if this is the end of my career? What am I doing with my life? What do I have to offer? Why wasn't I given an opportunity somewhere else?
Does it feel bittersweet, though, that all of your people are still there?
I feel like I'm being punished because I had a baby.
And men don't really have to think about it because they're men. They could change their mind.
Why would you want to be somewhere that doesn't want you? I wish more for women in general and moms, and especially athletes. I feel like you shouldn't have to choose one. Why can't you have both?
So that was Carmella on the Killer Network podcast. We're going to drop the link for that in the description of this video. But she discussed a few different topics there, one of which was the idea that she was fired because she had a baby. Another point in that clip, she discussed the idea that, Corey Graves, who we'll talk about in just a second, still has a job while she doesn't. And she also makes a pretty interesting claim or reveals some information there that WWE essentially ghosted her, that she was with the company for 12 years and that she was told that her contract was up and she didn't really hear back, and then, was basically given the news, it's not happening. We're not re-signing. And there's a lot of different ways you can interpret that. Let's talk about the ghosting part. I think this is less than unexpected. We heard from Sonya Deville, who recently did an interview where I believe it was with Ariel Helwani, where she discussed, the idea that she was in negotiations with WWE, that those negotiations in her mind were going as planned, as normal, and they were talking, and the two sides were building a rapport as you would in negotiations. And then what ended up happening was she was told, we're not re-signing. We're going in a different direction. And it does seem like that is kind of the way that this whole situation operated, or at least in a similar way. You do have the caveat that Carmella went away and went on maternity leave and had a child and was basically off of TV for 2 years. And by the way, she's now going by, I believe, Lee. I have to look up the actual name, but she's going under a different name. Let me confirm this. It is Lee Van something. But anyway, Lee Van Dale. There we go. Thank you, Google. But regardless, Carmella, Lee Van Dale, whatever you want to call her, at the end of the day, I think that she went away to have a child, and it's easy. And again, I'm not in her shoes, and I don't know what the background is, but it's easy for us on the outside looking in to look at that situation, look at the Alexa Bliss situation, and be like, well, they went out of their way to, negotiate with Alexa Bliss, albeit they didn't want to do so, but they ended up negotiating a new contract with her, and she's around, whereas Carmella isn't. Right. And there were very similar situations in that they went away, like she went away to have a child as well. But again, I think there's a little bit more to the story. I think that there's potentially more context that's missing. And she also talks about how a very real truth is when you're a woman in this industry, in an industry like professional wrestling, which has been male dominated for so long, your voice isn't as thought to be at least important as male voices. Your role on the roster is completely different. And unless you're one of the big stars, like a Charlotte, a Becky, now a Tiffany Stratton, right? There's going to be a level of prioritization that WWE will do with you. And I think that's been shown. It's not right. It's bad, horrible, distasteful, but it is what it is. That's just how they operate. But I think it's also telling that, the Corey Graves situation was kind of playing out in the background. She mentioned this. She's like, at the end of the day, Corey has a job. I don't. What's that all about? And that's not obviously her calling for Corey Graves, her husband, to be fired or whatever, but it's more like, what's the issue here? Because Corey Graves can throw a spat on Twitter. Corey Graves can do all the stuff that he did, and he still has a job. Meanwhile, Carmella wasn't re-signed, and she was someone who was over with the roster, right? I think Carmella was uniquely over with not the roster, but the fans, right? She was uniquely over with the fans. She had a gimmick that connected. She was, I think, getting a lot better in the ring the last time we saw her. And she's a known commodity. There's a lot of things there to like about Carmella as a pro wrestler. As far as why she's no longer doing it in WWE, we'll see. I think everyone has their theories, but I'm really interested to see what the rest of this podcast is all about. I'll take a listen and see what I can find. I just wanted to share this clip with y'all. Guys, if you want to get more content like this, get more videos like this, get more news updates, be sure to smash that thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And until next time, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.